Hello, everybody, and welcome to skill number 2 from the reading section. Recognize the organization of ideas. Okay. And when we talk about organization of ideas, in this case, we're talking basically about the relationship between paragraphs, right? So relationship, well, let's say among paragraphs, right? Remember that between is between two and among is three or more, right? So in this case, there are sometimes more than two paragraphs. There are three or four or five. So it's the relationship between or among those paragraphs, right? Um, so it says here in the TOEFL test, you may be asked to determine how the ideas in one paragraph, right, or paragraphs relate to the ideas in another paragraph or paragraphs, right? So we're going to look at an example down here. So let's go down here. Okay, so here it says, if asked who invented the game of baseball, most Americans would probably reply that it was their belief that Abner Doubleday did. They believe this because the story about Doubleday is part of the tradition of baseball. Doubleday was given credit for this invention early in the 20th century when sporting goods manufacturer Spalding inaugurated a commission to research the question of who invented baseball. In 1908, a report was published by the commission in which Abner Doubleday, a U.S. Army officer from Cooperstown, New York, was given credit for the invention of the game. The National Baseball Hall of Fame was established in Cooperstown in honor of Doubleday. Today, most sports historians are in agreement that Doubleday really did not have much to do with the development of baseball. Instead, baseball seems to be a close relative of the English game of rounders and probably has English rather than American roots, okay? So here we must keep in mind the parts that are underlined because then the question is going to say something like this. In this passage, an idea is presented and then refuted. A concept is followed by examples. A cause is followed by an effect, or a belief is supported with reasons. And in this case, the correct answer is A. An idea is presented, which says that Abner Doubleday invented baseball, and then it is refuted, right? It is contradicted. Then it says, no, he really didn't, right? So that's the type of ideas or the organization of ideas that we basically have to detect in these type of TOEFL texts. So here we have the explanation. Briefly, it says we have to look at the main ideas of each of the three paragraphs. The main idea of the first paragraph is that if asked who invented the game, most Americans would reply it was their belief that Abner Doubleday did, right? Most Americans. The main idea of the second paragraph is found in the first line, which says that Doubleday was given credit, right? The main idea of the third paragraph is found in the first line of the third paragraph, that most sport historians are in agreement that Doubleday really did not have much to do with the development of baseball, right? If you study the information in the first lines of the paragraph, you can determine that the third paragraph contradicts or refutes the information that is presented in the first two paragraphs. Answer A is therefore the best answer to this question. Okay, so if you have any questions on this skill, let me know in the comments. And now I think you're ready for the exercise. Okay, before we go to the exercise, let's just see how we can detect the organization of ideas. The type of questions that are going to appear are, how is the information in the passage organized? How is the information in the second paragraph related to the information in the first paragraph, etc., right? Says where to find the answer. The answer to this type of question can generally be determined by looking at the first sentence of the appropriate paragraph, right? The steps are how to answer the question. First, read the first line of each paragraph. Look at the words that show relationships among the paragraphs and choose the answer that best expresses the relationship, right? Okay, so are you ready for the exercise? Okay, so if you want to pause the video, we're going to do passage number 1, and it has 2 questions. So read this text, please, and in a moment, I will show you the answers. Okay, ready for the questions? Let's go to the next part. So read the questions. If you want, return to the passage, pause the video, and in a moment, we will check them. Okay, number 1 says, how is the information in the passage organized? And the correct answer is B. Contrasting views of conflict are presented, right? First, that conflict within an organization is bad, but then that it could be good and it stimulates progress and change, right? Okay, and in number 2, click on the paragraph that supports the view that organization conflict can be beneficial. It is paragraph number 3. Okay. So now let's continue to passage 2. Here is the reading text. So passage 2, questions 3 to 4. This one you can do it completely if you want to read it and then answer the questions, and we'll check it in a moment. Pause the video. Okay, so let's check this. Number 3 says, what type of information is included in the first paragraph? In the first paragraph, we have a definition, and it literally says is defined, right? So it's a definition. And question number 4, click on the paragraph that describes the application of IQ in the real world. This is paragraph 3, right? And it even says in paragraph 3 in the beginning, in practice, right? Where in paragraph 2 it says in theory, okay? So if you have any questions on passage 1 or 2, let me know in the comments, and let's continue to passage 3. Okay, so now we are on passage 3, questions 5 to 6. I recommend first you read the text, and then I'll show you the questions so you can do it. Okay, ready? Let's go with the questions. So number 5 says, how is the information in the passage organized? And the correct answer is going to be A. 2 unusual characteristics of the Great Salt Lake are discussed, right? 2 unusual characteristics are discussed in this case. And number 6 says, click on the paragraph that explains where the Great Salt Lake gets its salt. This would be found on paragraph 2, but these type of click on the paragraph are for the computer, right, part of the test, but they help out also in identifying these things. Okay, so next reading class, we're going to do a little review, and then I think we'll continue with skill 3. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And thank you for staying till the end of the video. I will see you all next class. Bye.